Hey everybody, Terry the Real Estate Guy. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It means a lot that you value my opinion. Hey, this video is basically inspired by a Washington Post article I found that took all the big companies in real estate and asked their opinions about residential real estate. And I thought, those of you that are interested in investing in real estate, buying real estate this year, that you might find it helpful to know what these companies are thinking in 2021. I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna cover what the article covered, also gonna link to it below. If you find my content valuable, will you do me a favor, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so other people can find this video as well. All right, here we go, let's jump in. National Association of Realtors, they have a pretty famous economist, maybe some of you have heard from him, Lawrence Yun. Lawrence Yun basically believes that there'll be 21% more houses sold this year than last. 21% more new homes, new construction this year than last. There's also going to be a 9% increase in existing home sales. 9% increase in existing home sales, and prices will likely rise by 3% in 2021, according to Lawrence Yun. Affordability will be impacted by the fact that housing supply is still low and there's increased demand. Yun also believes that rates are going to level out around 3.1%. And Yun says if Biden holds true to his campaign promise, there might be a first-time homebuyer tax credit out there. And if that's the case, that certainly would help make houses a little bit more affordable. Now, Yun is known as a very conservative economist. The National Association of Realtors, if you don't know, represents over 1 million real estate agents nationwide. They collect data from almost every market in the country, and they have very, very valuable data. And Yun is the guy people rely on to make decisions. Now let's think about a guy like Lawrence Yun. Who's he talking to? I'm sure he's talking to the heads of Wells Fargo and Bank of America and all these big banks. I mean, he is the inside track to the knowledge that people want to know, okay? Let's talk about another big real estate company, Redfin. If you've ever used their app, it's a really cool app. And they have an economist, his name's Daryl Fairweather. Daryl Fairweather basically believes that buyers are gonna take advantage of low payments in spite of higher prices. He thinks the payment is going to be more important than the price. And as the pandemic fades, we'll have the strongest housing market since 2006. He thinks that 10% more homes are going to sell this year than last, 10%. But he also believes there will only be 5% more new listings this year than last. So more people are going to put their house on the market because the values are at an all-time high. Some of those people will sell and rent, but it still puts us in a deficit, right? If you sell 10 cases of this bottle, all right, 10% of 100 cases of these bottles of water, and you only replace it with 5%, you still have a deficit of bottled water. And that's the same thing in the housing market, supply and demand. Now, economic recovery, he said, will keep rates low, and he thinks that rates will peak out around 3%. Fairweather also believes that suburban new construction will soar to its highest output since 2006. What is suburban new construction? That's outside of the urban core. By December, he thinks we'll have the highest homeownership rates we've had since 2005, and that is before the last Great Recession. All right, what about Zillow? Zillow, everybody seems to know Zillow and use the Zillow app. I particularly like their mortgage app. Zillow says that cities will be back in vogue in 2021. They think that cities will fuel a surge as the pandemic starts to fade. And I think they might be right. Zillow also predicts 21.9% annual growth in home sales. That's actually over twice that of the National Association of Realtors and Redfin. What do you guys think? Why don't you guys comment below what you think about Zillow's claims of 21.9%? Here's an interesting quote that Zillow made in this article. Zillow foresees a perfect storm of market conditions that will create the hottest spring selling season in recent memory, with sales happening quickly and often above list price. Many prospective homeowners will become certain about whether their jobs will be performed remotely long-term, which could add buyers to the market who had been waiting for that question to be settled. Rising mortgage rates could also add to the buyer frenzy. Zillow predicts that although dense urban living got a bad rap last year because of the pandemic, city living will almost certainly enjoy a renaissance in 2021. And I believe that to be true as well. What about new construction? The National Association of Home Builders, or the National Home Builders Association. Builders want to build, is what they're saying, but supply challenges are very challenging and expensive for a builder. Supply challenges of lumber, which basically has tripled since last March. Windows, basically all appliances, HVAC, all have been strained due to factories shutting down during the pandemic. 2021, though, will be the first year that there's over 1 million new housing starts since before the Great Recession. New construction went down last year in the urban core about 1%, and they're predicting that it will go up about 1% outside the urban core. So kind of a give and take there. My take? Listen, I think Americans have short memories, and I think they're going to jump right back into the cities because they're convenient, especially if companies are going to require people to come back into the expensive offices that they invest and rent. I do think commercial real estate will have high vacancy rates. I do think commercial real estate could have some challenges, but I do believe that there are some companies that are putting up with people working remotely. They won't put up with that long term. They want people back. They want to create culture. They know that people are communal beings and they're going to want that. And I think a lot of people are going to want to flow back into the city and move right back into the urban core. It doesn't seem like prices are going to come down anytime soon. So if you want to wait it out, my opinion is you're probably going to wait it out another 18 months before prices come down. Why is that? Today, we have 2 months in some markets worth of supply. In order to be a balanced market, you have to have 6. A 6-month window is what most people consider a balanced market, 6 months of inventory. When you topple that 6 months and you go to 8 months of inventory, that's more of a buyer's market. When you go below that, it's more of a seller's market. It can edge one way or the other and teeter-totter around. But when you have 2 months of inventory in the marketplace, you basically have a massive seller's market and will continue to do so. Until inventory starts to level out, prices are going to stay firm, except for maybe one crazy thing that could be thrown at you: interest rates. If interest rates start a precipitous climb higher, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. You start hitting 4% interest rates, all of a sudden, I believe the housing market is going to have a little bit of a stall. Why? Because houses are way up here in price, and now interest rates are creeping back up to a point, that we would have considered an absolute bargain, 24 months ago, but the bargain changes today versus then, right? So that is the key, is trying to figure all that stuff out. And I'm going to do a video for you guys because I get asked all the time on this channel, what is better, buying a higher priced house with low rates versus buying a lower priced house with higher rates that can be refinanced? So check back. Hopefully next week or the week after, I'll have that one for you, and it's going to lay it out. It's going to show you the math, exactly what is going to happen, and answer that question for you. All right, so what do you think? What do you think? I want you to comment down below. Thank you for watching this. If you find this content valuable, listen, the only way other people are going to help find it is if you hit that like button and you subscribe to the channel. I'm Terry the Real Estate Guy. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Have a great day.